Welcome back everyone to another Gaming on the Brain playthrough. Today we've got a bit of a special treat for you all in the shape of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, one of our favourite games.
Yep, Turtles. Back in the day.
We've got a couple of extra guys with us today, so just a few introductions going around the table. So I'm Mark, obviously. We've got Glenn in the bottom right corner, and we've got Andy up in the top left corner, and we've got his son Ryan here as well, who's not on video today, but you will hear him on the microphone. So now that introductions have been done, we can talk shit.
Yeah. Oh, forgetting Logan.
Logan's here as well, but Logan's not playing, but he will be joining us for one in a little bit.
He's the arbiter. He just keeps an eye on what we're doing, tells us how we're, in case we're breaking any YouTube rules. Isn't that right, son?
Yeah.
So.
I think we should just get it on,
Yeah, let's get on.
Let's get it on. Some full playthrough today.
Yeah, we've got the 4-player camp here, so we
press the back button, Ryan and Andy. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, no, we're.
That's how you put your credits in. I can't remember if I've got credits on here. I think I have.
I mean, this was an absolute classic back in the day, and it's still a great game, I think. Turtles has been such a big series. 1989 for the first game, but well, in fact, Mark was the
when this game came out, like Turtles Mania was absolutely insane.
Yeah,
I just remember being like 8 or 9 years old.
Do you know what I want to know?
The whole thing had me gripped.
Do you know
it was like every newspaper with the comic book clippings in, everything.
Oh, but here, Andy, here's one for you, right? This was the loudest game ever. If you were in an arcade and they had a Turtles camp, you can guarantee you'd hear this. And once you've seen it, if you hadn't already seen it, I mean, you'd be just mesmerised. Like, I mean, it's such a simple game, really. I mean, the combat system is so simple and easy to grip to, but there's that much to do in the game, including a lot of little Konami's sort of typical background see, daft little little Easter eggs, you know, like comedy and that, which would have tied right in with the Turtles comics at the time as well.
Just to fill everyone in, I'll do the short story today. So I've got Raphael.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Took one for the team, haven't you?
I was supposed to be Donatello, wasn't I? You see, I bagged Donatello
Mikey.
weeks ago. And then Ryan kind of came here.
Yeah, Ryan is Donny.
So now I've commandeered Mark's Leonardo, who's frankly the second best character on the game.
He is. Just don't
Donatello being the best,
because you'll bring up the Xbox guide and that'll be all over the top of the video.
Do you know what?
No pressure.
Do you know what? A little question. I'm not too sure offhand. We can't find the information now. Is what came first? Turtles Arcade or Turtles NES? I think it was Turtles NES. You know.
I'm not entirely sure.
I think
I didn't see. Well, I didn't see the arcade game. Sorry, I've seen the arcade game before the NES game. Even I knew even existed. But I'm sure I've seen something on Wikipedia or GameFAQs where it says that the arcade game came out second.
I'm not entirely sure. I did have the original NES game as well because I bought the console from Curry's. I think it was Christmas time or it might have been my birthday back in the day.
Did you know there was like versions of Turtles for the Amiga and that? Like Turtles, like the Turtles arcade game came out, but the NES game came out on like computers as well at the time, which was kind of surreal. Like,
say now, like when I was into Turtles as a kid, Michelangelo was by far my favourite turtle.
Yeah, mine was Donatello, Donny for me. Like,
but sadly, when you play Michelangelo in this game, you know he hasn't got a good range on the weapon, so he's not the best to play through with.
I think he's quite good still.
Raphael's
might be better off playing with the D-pad. It's just reacts better than the stick. So no skipping the stories if there's any ever. There isn't really in this game, right, to be honest. Part of the Gaming on the Brain rules is we show everything.
Sadly.
Apart from nudity. Soundtracks and bass in this game, isn't it?
But like I was saying to Glenn just before, I didn't play Turtles 2 that came out after this as much as I played this game because the sort of turtle fever that had the entire world gripped, it kind of passed a bit by then.
Well, you know what it is, Andy? It's got to be the cartoon so much. I mean, the cartoon they brought so much to us as kids, you know. I mean, obviously the age we were as well, we grew up with like real Ghostbusters, Turtles, Thundercats, He-Man, you know, and having like Turtles. Do you not remember as well? There was a load of sort of rip-off cartoons came at the time, like Samurai Cats and that, and Sewer Sharks and stuff, and they were all sort of trying to cash in. I mean, probably the biggest game as a rival to Turtles, Mark knows this one, would be Battletoads, isn't it? You know, is a sort of like as a game equivalent to what the cartoons had done for Turtles.
You know that, the biker mice from Mars or something?
That was the other one, aye, that was it. I was thinking about them as well.
Apparently it's coming back.
Which one?
It's coming back. Biker Mice.
Well, to be honest with you, I think a lot of this stuff will come back at some point anyway. It's just do they do it right though, that's all.
Who can remember the Turtles bread that came out? Do you
I remember cereal. I remember cereal, but that might have been Ghostbusters.
And it had round slices of bread.
Right.
And it was like ridiculously
Like a shell.
expensive. So like, whichever one of your friends was rich and spoiled got the Turtles bread.
Jesus
So you'd go around and if you got a slice of like Turtles bread toast around your mate's house, you knew his dad.
Here's the thing of it, right?
If you had turtle bread,
Or his
toast, drop us a comment. Let us
If
know.
you have Turtles bread now, please let us know, because you're probably sitting on an absolute fortune.
Even the wrapper would be probably worth quite
It
a
would
bit.
be, yeah. Something that just wouldn't be around anymore. I mean, I seen a box of Ghostbusters cereal sell for an absolute fortune a while back. Ghostbusters cereal, like this box of cereals from 1984. You know, I'd hate to see what it looked like.
Oh, baby.
Oh, he's not attacking behind. Oh, he is.
Why did I do that?
Joys of infinite credits.
Oh, I thought I went down there. I keep thinking I'm Leonardo. I put usually that part.
I keep forgetting that. You know, the premise of the Turtles is that they were all teenagers when it was introduced there.
Well,
Leonardo was 16.
I know. It's just because we were younger than them, we probably looked at them and saw adults. We saw men shaped like turtles. So here's the queerest thing. What the hell was going on between them and April?
Well, I know this much. Leonardo had the best chance with April, and I'm playing Leonardo, so at the end, I'll get the net on.
Like, just imagine holding a turtle and just, yeah, anyway, I'll knock down there.
Just drop us some more credits in.
How about after the credits?
You kind of make it up to sit here.
Do you know what I loved in all though, mine? And talking about some of the home versions of both Turtles arcade games. I mean, the adapted Turtles 1 and 2 on the Mega Drive as the Hyperstone Heist. Now, it was mostly based on Turtles 2, but it had a lot of elements of the first game. Like, I think it either took a couple of levels, if I'm right, or took at least one or two of the bosses. And obviously, Turtles in Time came out on Super Nintendo as Turtles 4. Now, I remember saying that as Turtles 4 back in the day and wondering what the hell was going on, because I didn't know that there was a Turtles 3, so I thought, what have I missed? Until I found it years later, that was also the Manhattan project on the NES, yeah, which gets good reviews. It's kind of well liked. I don't think I got a PAL release, so mate. I don't think I got a UK release or a European release.
I mean, getting back to the whole Turtle Mania thing, I remember Joseph's toy shop in the town.
Yeah.
Like, you would go in during the week and you'd be like, what day is the Turtles toys getting delivered?
Yeah,
and they're coming like Saturday at 9 o'clock. You go to Joseph's at Saturday at like 8:30, and there was a queue around the block. By the time you got in the shop to buy one, the only thing left would be like the little mouses and the foot soldiers.
But you know what it is? I love the mouses. I like them. I quite like these. I always wanted one, just as a pet, you know. Like, why not? I'm sad. I still am. But I remember playing the NES game, and one of the bosses was a giant mouser. I was like, oh, Jesus. You had to kill it. When it opened its mouth, you had to destroy the light and it's gone. Like, why have you got a light bulb there? I mean, why have you got that? Just don't have that, and you'll be invincible. But the toys at the time more. But like I saying, they tie in with all the other classic 80s and early 90s toys, you know, like the real Ghostbusters.
And I think, like, a thing that isn't the same now, but was a massive thing back in the day, was like, we were always at least 6 months behind America.
No, I know. And with everything we wanted, like telly and that, and like cartoons, and games, obviously game releases as well, were all the same, I know.
So I remember my mate Adam, he'd been to Florida for his holidays with his parents, and he came back and he brought a load of Turtles figures back. He had like all 4 Turtles, you know, he had the full selection.
Yeah.
And he was like, this is going to be massive, this is going to be huge, it's going to be the next big thing. And I was like, what, giant Turtles? I was like, yeah, I kind of just thought, like, whatever. And then sure enough, within 6 months, the whole world was Turtle mad, or the whole of the country anyway.
Well, there's something that might interest you, and you probably know, you maybe know anyway, but I'll tell you. You do know that the Turtles, as you know them, isn't their original design. Do you know that?
No.
The original design for the Turtles...
hideous.
Hideous, did you say?
Aye.
More violent.
Yeah.
I believe it's I can't remember the name of the comics, but Mirage Comics is ringing a bell. It's a different... The comics are very, very different.
So there was like a dark
darker, yeah, much darker. In fact, that the characters get killed, you know.
Isn't there a Turtles game coming soon, like the Revenge of the Ronin or something, isn't it?
Well, there's been
it's more like a Bloodborne game type thing.
Did any of you play the collection that came out, the Cowabunga collection?
No, I didn't.
It looked like it had some decent stuff on it, though, you know. I mean, because as a collector myself, I like to see stuff that gives you material that you wouldn't have seen back in the day. So I like those. I mean, it's sad, call it sad if you like, but I like those little nuggets, you know, like extra bits of artwork or just unreleased things or little facts that you probably wouldn't have known back in the day.
Now, well, you will remember that in the UK, and I don't know if it was a Europe thing as well, but definitely the UK.
Yeah.
They weren't allowed to be called Ninja Turtles.
Hero Turtles, that's right.
Released as Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
That's it, aye. But you know what always made us wonder though? And there was always a thing, like a stigma about nunchucker, but they never dared to take Mikey's nunchucker off him in most of the game. But I do believe there's either a figure or some sort of material within Turtles in the UK where he doesn't have a nunchucker. He's got a string of sausages, I think. I don't know, he definitely has a nunchucker.
I mean, it seems ridiculous that the label ninja was a naughty word.
I know.
It's a violent word. Ooh.
And it took them years to bring it round to ninja.
Massively, aye. It's like, but the thing is, you know what was crazy though, Andy, right? This ninja craze, right? It was an 80s thing, like if that was a 70s thing. I mean, it was like a lot of 70s films had ninja themes and that, you know, kung fu things. So by the time the 90s come round, it wasn't just about ninjas, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yet the same, to feel like they needed to be offended by this, you know. It was cast down there with the likes of Child's Play 3, you know, and it's like, well, what's the harm?
And I remember when it came out as Hero Turtles, but we all knew that in America they were called Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
So even though we were advertising everything had Hero Turtles on it, I called them Ninja Turtles. And if any of your mates dared to call it Hero Turtles, you just knew they weren't cool.
They were basically like watered down. It was like the sanitized version. There you go, see? That's just wrong. Even Ryan's disgusted.
I didn't see any advances there from there, but it looked like...
See, also bestiality was allowed back in the 80s as well for some reason. Isn't it? It's Sonic the Hedgehog, I'm sure, where it might be one of the later ones. Like Sonic 06, is it?
I think it is 06.
You know that I'm going with this, don't you? Yeah.
Okay, well, it adds a few more enemies in 4 player, doesn't it?
Yeah, those small please.
Tell you what's really, really bad as well, guys. I'm playing as the worst character yet. Look at the amount of people I've killed compared to you.
That was one thing I loved about this game, right? If you remember, Mark, there was a competition. Do you remember there being a competition down Bella's for if you could hit, was it 1,000 or something, or 100? You'd get like a prize if you could hit like 100 enemies.
I'm on 121.
Obviously, you had to do that on one credit though.
Aye. Yeah, I think I've probably used about 15.
That's another thing about this game, though. The soundtrack as well. I mean, we've already talked about how it's a loud game and an impressive game, but the soundtrack though just was like, and it's made by the same people who did the music for games like Crime Fighters 1 and 2, Vendetta, which we talked about. Pirates of Dark, not Pirates of Dark Water. In fact, I might be that. But I'm also thinking about Bucky O'Hare and Sunset Riders. We've always mentioned them, you know.
Yeah. I've added G.I. Joe to the list the other day, Glenn, when you play through that one. I like that.
Aye.
2-player. I remember when I first fired that up, I was quite in awe. Like, oh. Aye, Turtles in Time, I remember, right? I must have been...
Again,
11,
you were 11.
Aye,
the first memories I've got of that game are actually Kev Hoy. You remember Kev Hoy? Oh, Kev Hoy having a bootlegged Super Famicom version on that Magic system, that disc-based system he had.
Yeah.
He had that, but I didn't realise at that time how different it was from the arcade game.
Can you remember how much it was a credit on this game back in the day? Was it 20 pence?
It was 20 pence, I think.
I thought it was.
Do you know what it is? I remember all the older games like Double Dragon 1 being 10 pence and then slowly creeping up to 20, right? But once games were hitting 50 pence, me being a tight bastard, I started to turn off at that point. Yeah. So Ridge Race was like £1 and it was like, I mean, obviously quite a bit later than Turtles in 93 for Ridge Race.
Oh yeah, 93 actually.
Yeah, 93, possibly 94.
Yeah.
And that was like, they were starting to charge £1 for a game, and I think, well, if I save 40 of these, I can own it for my PlayStation.
Aye, which was, in fairness, was a pretty damn good port.
Fantastic port. But the thing is, I obviously would talk about a very different game now as well. But taking Ridge Racer as a great example, you had a game that looked quite a bit like the arcade, slightly blocky, but looked quite a lot like it, played exactly like it, and had extra material. You know, it's like I've said to you before, Mark. Games like Ridge Racer and Tekken 2, Tekken 1 even, were the first games for me in my head that started to really destroy the arcades, because the games were just way more advanced than the machines were based on, which you were paying £1 a time for.
Ridge Racer wasn't mine. The arcade version of Ridge Racer was far superior.
Oh my god, I've only got 7 lives left.
It was to play. It was to play. I felt like the feel of the game though was
They
pretty much
nailed
spot
the
on.
feel and everything, yeah. But yeah, there was like, in terms of hardware, the arcade version was quite a lot superior. But it still played fantastic. It still got a very good game of Ridge Racer out of it. I hate this bit. I just hate flying enemies in games. They're all terrible.
Well, that's one of the subjects we want to keep for dear, isn't it? Where we want to talk about how the arcade industry started to get eclipsed basically by the home consoles and that of the day, you know, which for me would be the play. Did you ever have a Saturn? Did you have a Saturn back in the day though?
No, I didn't. My mate bought one, and we used to rent one from Blockbuster.
I've got one. I like them, mate. I think it's a good console. I mean, it always played second fiddle to the PlayStation, but the console itself
What was the game on Saturn that was the flagship? Was it Virtua Fighter?
Virtua Fighter was their main fighting game.
Yeah.
Because we used to take turns in renting the Saturn and playing Virtua Fighter, and then renting the PlayStation and playing Tekken.
Yeah.
Tekken.
And Tekken kind of won out. I mean, it's still a massive franchise now.
Oh, of course it is. Well, Virtua Fighter, they're not making any more at the minute, but it's still an active franchise.
Yeah,
I'd consider it active.
One eventually.
Yeah, it's not a dead franchise. It gets talked about. People play the games. You do know another installment's going to come eventually. It just is. Mortal Kombat's obviously well and truly alive. I don't care what people say about. Some people try to say Mortal
Kombat will never ever.
Nah, it's too.
Out.
It's too. Plus, you've got an amazing film. You've got a sequel coming that people cannot wait for. You know, I mean, I found the latest film to be fantastic. Like, Kano is my favourite character ever in anything. I really need Kano to come back.
I used to love Raiden, Mortal Kombat.
Oh, what, in the films?
And just in general on the games and everything.
Christopher Lambert or Lambert.
Well, it depends, mate. It was Christopher Lambert in the first one, but it was James Remar. It was him. It was the father of Dexter in it.
Do you think he was based on that guy, the character from Big Trouble in Little China? Do you remember?
He is.
With the lightning?
Absolutely. Well, that's the kicker though, Andy. All three of them. They're all the three storms, aren't they? You've got thunder, lightning and rain. Funny enough, so you've got a rain in Mortal Kombat as well later on. But he's clearly based on characters from that film, you know, which is a masterpiece.
Oh, Master Splinter, we're going to have to sort him out. Master Splinter!
General Trog, that's what they call this guy. I mean, remembered. That's
How
sad.
old do you think Splinter is?
Oh, it's not actually. Eh?
How old do you think Splinter is?
How old he is? 45 then, probably.
We're going
to have to get some trivia.
And this is not General
You're going to have
Trog.
to put up like a little subtitle credit at the end, saying how old Splinter is.
We'll find out.
I've just remembered this is a rock soldier, by the way. I mislabeled it as. Sorry, I mislabeled. Would that be the right word now?
You know, this is the action figure that was left in Joseph's toy shop.
Yeah, nobody didn't know what the fuck it was.
Nobody knew wanted that one.
They didn't know what he was. No, I think it was probably April. She didn't have an action feature.
Nice. Another one bites the dust.
It's lovely, that like.
Delighted.
Hi.
Thank you, my turtle.
Thank you, my turtles.
It's the technical.
See that? If I remember right, that scene's used in Hyperstone Heist, I think.
Oh, I just got back up and got shot back down again. It's the last level, isn't it? Hadn't been right.
A bit slow down.
Yeah, I'm surprised. 4 turtles on the screen. It doesn't buckle much, to be fair. Like it's done pretty well.
Aye, that's actually aye. It's the first time I've noticed it really.
I don't think I've ever played this in 4-player, if I'm honest.
Do you know what I really would like to do, Mark? One day now, let's challenge to see if I can get you to like this, right? You see if we can get 4 of us to play the first Crime Fighters. It might actually be good in 4-player. Crime Fighters came out slightly before this, Andy. Maybe by about 6 months, not by much. It's got the date of 89. It's a similar game, but the fighting's like weird. It's tough as well.
I can't remember it by name, but
It's been in a
once
few
it's fired
arcades.
up and I see it, I'll definitely remember it.
It might worth showing you at some point. Actually, you're going to be playing the sequel. But the sequel's an amazing game. It's something entirely different.
I mean, this particular game I used to play down Jet all the time. That was
Aye.
like the place where I remember
Well,
it being.
I played this a lot down Bella's.
That's alright.
Bella's being our local one at the time, our
Aye,
local
but-
arcade.
Did Bella's get it like immediately when it came out, though, or was it later?
It seemed soon. It seemed quickly.
Pretty soon, like.
I mean, 1990, maybe, late 1990 possibly, but
Because I know
that's
Jet were
general
always,
track.
like, they were on the ball. They used to kind of get it first.
You wouldn't believe it though, because it always seemed like a cheapskate arcade, didn't it? Like,
Jet.
yeah, not Jet, sorry, not Jet, Bella's. Jet were very top of the range. I remember them having stuff like Undercover Cops and that. They were the arcade that introduced me to a game called Dead Connection, which me and Mark were talking about just the other day, in fact.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Smash TV.
Say your prayers, boys. God, he can hit people fast, can't he? It's got that spring action arm that they've got on the actual figures, isn't it? He just keeps recoiling. The same way. I keep figuring I'm going to use. When I got out of bed this morning, I did not imagine I'd be playing with Raphael. Still winning though. That's all that matters. Here we go.
Everything's a competition.
Here we go.
So, here's a little bit of trivia for you. So, back in the day, me auntie took us down Jet, and she was obviously subsidising my run of clocking this game
Yeah.
because I didn't have any money because I was like 9 years old. So, I got up to this part of the game.
Really? How much you spend?
By now you've been.
I can't remember because it wasn't my money. But I'll when it comes around, I'll point out the bit where she cut us off, and it was basically, I was maybe 1, 2, absolute maximum 20 pences away from clocking it, and she just like went, no, that's
more.
it, you've had enough now.
You've only spent 25 quid.
Just to put everyone in as well.
And she made-
Andy's been traumatised.
She made us quit. Like honestly, it's a childhood trauma.
He actually had to go down the arcade a little while back with the
I bet it was the bit where you wonder why you fight 3 shredders and 2 of them got their
what I
hats on,
thought I did,
2 got their helmets, and they look black for some reason. Aye.
So there's an arcade bar in Newcastle now that has this
yeah.
game in.
Yeah, we're going there. I think
And, I went down and I finally clocked it, and I put an end to my 30-year trauma.
that's what you wanted that I played. And they've got
But
the
I still
actual
haven't
boards.
forgiven her. Even now,
What, do you know when you say that? You just gone turtles. Or just gone shredder.
I don't say it.
You
Just
made
cut it
me
out with my life
remember.
altogether.
I'm invincible!
Here he is. The sly old.
So this is where I was. I was at the split shredders.
I thought it was 3.
If you were only 20 pences away from this, you were a pretty good player. If I'm finishing it from here.
I don't remember being
No, actually, it wasn't the split shredders. Is there a bit where he goes mirrored after this?
I think it's the split.
I think this is it. I think this is all I can think of.
It's the
Well,
one-
it's just he might just go down to 1 copy. Bill Watts has done this, like. You can never tell which one's the one. Probably he's got the hat still on.
So I think it was here or whatever the next stage is after this, like the next version of it.
Do you know this? Do you know what makes us like a little bit curious? You think, when he's got all these like clones, you think he'd make them look like him instead of hiring African men?
What?
Well, look. When they've lost the helmets, they're not Asian blokes anymore.
Ah, right. Okay. Which one is he?
It's a mystery.
Yeah, I'm kicking the crap out of him. I think I've got him actually, because this one here, I'm battering.
You never tell which one's which.
Oh yeah, it is. It's him with the gun. Yeah, that one.
I don't know, like in the original Turtles film, like the one that had Vanilla Ice in.
Is that where they chucked them off the top of the building? Not Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice was in it, wasn't
He
it?
come off a building, didn't he?
Yes,
Oh, no, was that two? That might be two.
Vanilla Ice was 2. Who was in 1? Was it MC Hammer? Anyway,
MC
whoever
Hammer,
played
right?
Shredder in that Turtles 1 film did a bloody good job because he was quite
Menacing.
menacing. I was going to use the word terrifying, but I didn't want to use it because I ain't scared of nothing.
Ain't scared of nothing, scared of nothing. Brian T played him in one of the newer films. I can't remember which one though. He's good. I looked him up. He looked the part like.
So yeah, that was it. So when that mirrored Shredder, that was where I was up to, and I got cut off for the 20 pences.
Oh, so you
So
were
message to me, Andy. No Christmas dinner for you this year,
Not at
or
all,
next year, or any year after that.
That's a serious message.
Why did you
enjoyed
make
that,
that
boys.
milkshake?
That was great. Brought back some childhood memories and just relieved my trauma a little bit more. Now it's
Didn't
been
spend your money, did you?
twice in my lifetime.
Next time we'll do Turtles 2, and you can see you've done them both.
Yeah,
What's
I
your
can't
thoughts,
remember
Mike?
Turtles 2, but
It's
I
alright,
definitely
it's not my kind
will
of game, to be
when I
honest.
play it.
Ryan's only 18, that's why. This is a long time before he was around.
Yes. Ryan hears all about it from me.
Yeah, and I quickly
Condition
shut
him
you
to like the
down.
things that I want him to like.
Yeah, I quickly
Aye.
shut you down on it.
You were forced to come here, weren't you?
I was actually asking. I said,
I'll give you a beer if you come out.
You might enjoy Crime Fighters 2.
Well, there's more. It's got a deeper system. There's more to the fighting. You can just do more stuff. There's weapons to pick up and all sorts.
Yeah.
But it came out only about. No, it did. It came out in '91, didn't it? So
I think it
it's,
was 91, yeah.
but I'm sure that Turtles 2 is only about as deep as the first one. Isn't it? The
Aye,
combat
there's
system's the same.
nothing extra in it.
There's only got a couple of gimmicks really. Like throw in.
Where you spin round and basically just lariat everyone.
Can you? I
while
remember you
shouting
do it.
feats
Is
of
that your
power.
special move?
No, it's just like a bonus attack, really.
Have you got a
Your
running
special move's
attack
pretty
in
much
that?
the same.
Can you run now?
If you walk long enough, you break into a run and then you can kind of shoulder barge them, but it's kind of automatic. Let's see what the scores are. Ooh, get your name in.
That game over there really reminded me of Mario.
Alright,
Now you know the way it
Aye.
came up, the
Aye.
lettering.
I've missed me letter.
10th. Mark is the Ninja Turtles ninja. He is
I am Raphael. the
number
winner.
1 player.
Oh good.
Now, in the Turtles characterizations, Raphael is always the gamest.
Aye.
He's the angry, violent
I
one.
know.
He's
I know. We're saying that in the recent days, like looking something up about him, like.
I think we'll call that a day, guys. Thank you very much, everyone,
Aye.
for joining us, and have a good time.
Till the
Once
next
again,
one.
We'll see you next time.
Bye bye.
Thank you, guys.
Bye now.
Cheers.
Bye.